Well, here we are. A series that I was unsure about when we talked about having a whole series of 8 talks on the silence of God. I hope that some of this has been a blessing to you. It's been a blessing to me to think it through fairly quickly, to not have weeks and months to research it, just to begin to think about where we might talk about this. So having spent now 7 times talking about the silence of God, that we only see through a glass darkly while we're here. Jesus has to hide in the shadows because he cannot force faith by being out here talking and being clearly identified that it's true and it's real. There'd be no more faith. He wants to know that you will bridge the gaps of the time when he is silent. When we have the winters of the soul or the long nights of the soul, will we stay? I will never give up. We will not be part of the group that shrinks back. But now, let's talk about the time when all the shackles will be taken off, when all the limitations will be removed. Someday, we will have music that is unbelievable. I get to be sometimes with music that is just sublime. I talked about a wedding that I was a part of in the Philippines a few weeks ago. In a few weeks, we'll be doing a weekend up in Bakersfield. Great music. We're going to be doing a crusade in a church here in a couple weeks, and we're going to have great music every night. Unbelievable. And I get to be in the middle of all of it. I get to preach out of this music. Heaven is going to be. It's going to be a mansion for every one of us. There's going to be food that is crazy good compared to what we have today. I eat a lot of food that is absolutely special. I have been to banquets and parties and buffets in Philippines and dinners, and people bring me food. I eat a lot of special food. Think what food will be like when God is making it at his best for us. And there's no risk, there's no downside. You can have a milkshake and there's no problem. But beyond all of that, what we have been waiting for all this time, we will see God face to face. We sing the song, Face to Face with Christ my Savior. We will not have to wait any longer. It will not be see through a glass darkly. It says, but then we will see face to face. Jesus says, I knock on the door and I will come and eat with you. Now we have to do that by faith. Now we have to do that through whispers and silence. But then it will be face to face. And we will eat with him. We will be married to Christ. We will go on a honeymoon with Christ for 1,000 years. And he doesn't have to hide in the shadows anymore. The voice will be, we can hear it. He'll be right there. John talks about going into vision on the Lord's Day. Jesus had died. And now John turns around and he hears his voice like living waters and waterfalls and all that description in Revelation 1. And it's Jesus. He hears the voice. Doesn't have to be a still small voice anymore. We wait now through the not yet, waiting for the then. Not yet, but then. There is a then. Just because there are silences now doesn't mean that there will be silences forever. Someday, he will say, now we can talk. All the mystery will be taken away. We can ask any question, and we will hear an answer. We will hear wisdom of truth of how things really are. We will be able to go over everything that we've ever heard, seen, and wondered about, and he will clarify. We will go to grand worship services from Sabbath to Sabbath and hear Jesus, the voice of Jesus, tell us how reality really is and answer the deepest questions of the universe. And we will bask in the presence of Jesus. We wait now. Don't give up. Don't give up when there's a silence. Don't give up in the winter times. Don't give up when we're not hearing anything. Don't give up when there are no miracles. Don't give up when there are politics in the church. Don't give up when your pastor doesn't seem to be really doing his job the best he could. Don't give up when there are politics in the church that drive you crazy. Don't give up. Because someday we will not have to see through a glass darkly. We won't have to live with these approximations and these shadows. We will have the reality. C.S. Lewis, The Four Loves, talks about we will go from the portrait to the original, from the rivulet to the stream. We will get the reality. And we will hear the voice of God out loud. No doubt about it. No questions. God. It's worth it. It's worth waiting through the summertime, winter times. It's worth waiting through the silent times. Don't give up. Don't give up. May this series have been a blessing to you, has been a blessing to me. We'll see you next week for the next series of Spotlight. God bless you all. Thank you for watching Spotlight. We're so excited about this. We hope that you'll subscribe and so you'll get all of them. And please just forward it on to others and tell other people about it. And let's just see what kind of an audience we can get for these messages of Spotlight.